So hey Dubs, what's good, bro?
What's up, King?
So basically, I wanted to invite you to this platform. Art sounds familiar because I do believe you to be a successful like content creator, an entrepreneur that has put a lot of work in his craft, and I believe that could be a resource that inspires others that kind of want to follow similar like path in life. I guess I would start by first giving you the floor to just like introduce yourself and kind of just talk about where you're from and all that.
Okay. All right. My name is Christian Walker. My nickname is Dubs. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. I just graduated Allegheny College this year
Okay.
with an applied computer science major. And yeah,
How did you start? Like, what led you to creating Animator Apparel?
okay. So now it's Animator Archive. I changed the apparel. Well, I dropped the apparel part because I don't want the brand to just be synonymous with apparel. I want to branch out to like other avenues and stuff. In terms of like starting,
Yeah.
well, 2 years ago, I started the brand, and the purpose behind starting it originally was it was kind of hard for me to find like anime clothing or to show that I liked anime without it being in like a, and no disrespect when I say this, like a cringy way. I was trying to create a brand that was like kind of cool, kind of low key aesthetic stuff that like I would be cool wearing for
Hmm.
myself. Like that was originally the purpose of the brand.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess something that was less of like fan art and more of like, oh, even someone that maybe might not be too deep with anime or too like involved in anime could still like enjoy kind of thing.
Exactly. You said it better than me.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's always anime inspired. I don't want to just take like specific characters from different shows and stuff. I always like it to be low key and
Okay.
have some type of meaning behind it, because it's easy. Anyone can just take a picture of Naruto, throw it on a T-shirt,
Mm.
add some Japanese to it, and sell it. But I don't really think that that's gonna be something that's sustainable or long term. I wanted
Okay.
to create a brand that like lasts years from now. So, and I feel like I need to focus on creating like my own type of content
Hmm.
but at the same time drawing from those anime themes of anime aesthetics and art style.
Okay. How do you start that? Like, where do you begin from?
All right. Okay. So when it comes to creating a brand, a streetwear brand, the first step that you want to do is you either want to work with a local screen printer or you want to work with a POD, which is a print on demand
Okay.
company. And there's a lot of different print on demand companies such as Printful, Printify, Custom Cat. And it's cool to use print on demand, especially when starting out, because you don't really have all that money. You can't just spend $700 to work with a screen printer and get a batch out. Print on
Hmm.
demand is you don't have to pay for anything upfront. You pay as people buy.
Okay.
So it's really nice for those that are just getting into the space. And you basically want to decide if your designs are good or if they have any aesthetic to them.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing print on demand, you could do that with low upfront costs.
Okay.
So I recommend that for all brand owners starting out. And then you have to decide, um, like, what is your long term goal for your brand? Do you want a brand that is sustainable that lasts a long time, or do you want a brand that's more fast fashion and you make a lot of sales starting out, but like you basically adjust your brand to fads?
Hmm.
It's different ways to go about doing it, but right now I work with a local screen printer,
Okay.
and it's very effective. It's very effective because I save a lot of money and I get a big discount because I'm buying in bulk.
Okay.
But the only problem is when you're starting out, especially working with a local screen printer, you have to decide like the different avenues in which you want to save money because you could either have a brand that is focused on a DTG, which is direct to garment, or you
Okay.
could have a brand that uses screen print. Screen print is the best, but it's the most expensive.
Mhm.
It's the best quality, but DTG is a lot cheaper and it's a lot more cost effective. The only problem is a lot of brands, they want to save as much money at the beginning, which, it makes sense,
Mhm.
but at the same time, they're they're not creating setting their brand up for success. I
Okay.
recommend that all brands starting out use screen print.
Okay.
You use screen print, you work with a POD for your first drop just to see like if your designs are actually good. Yeah, so you would work with a company for like such as Printful or Printify starting out,
Mhm.
and then you throw your designs on there, throw it on a website like Shopify. Shopify has a 30-day free trial. It's the best website platform. You could use that, and then once that's all set up,
Mhm.
um, you could even put your designs on Reddit. There's a
Okay.
lot of Reddits you could use. The one that I use the most is Streetwear Startup.
Okay.
You post it on there for feedback of your designs and stuff. And if people like with your designs, then they'll give you good feedback. If you need to make adjustments, most
Mhm.
of the time they're pretty honest.
What systematic steps did you move in?
Well, I started off with posting designs on Streetwear Startup just to get feedback to if my designs were actually good.
Okay.
And then if the feedback was good on Streetwear Startup, then I would post it on Instagram
Okay.
because Instagram's all about aesthetics, but your real customers are people that are in this space. So
Mhm.
you want good feedback from people that are used to buying from other streetwear brands and stuff.
Right.
So you would post it on Streetwear Startup first, and then if it's good, then you would post it on Instagram, and then you could run Instagram ads starting off. I'd say I'd say you do A and B testing on different demographics.
Okay.
Um, Kind of target places that are known for like a lot of streetwear hype, like New York, California. Um, make the age demographic, I'd say like 18 to 26 male.
Right.
It's like the stereotypical like streetwear buyer.
Okay.
And then yeah, so A and B testing. So like um you could target specific people that follow certain pages that are similar to what you're selling. So if you're selling designs that have something to do with I don't know, I don't know, flowers or something,
Uh-huh.
you could target it so that um Instagram shows your ad to people that follow flower pages and stuff.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So that means you had to have done a lot of research, like even in setting this up from the jump.
Yeah, it was a little bit of research, but it was more about just experimenting, like with the different testing, like
Mm-hmm.
trying to find out which of the tests get the most views and most engagement.
Okay. And so, like with all of this, at least for me, it seems like a lot of different things happening at once and moving like at once. Like, how
Hmm.
much like time went into like branding and even maintaining that strong social media presence? Like, what would be like your typical day? I mean, now we're in COVID, but um, if we put that aside, or we just like travel back like to like last year, what was your typical day like as a content creator, as a brand, and like an entrepreneur? Like what does it look like?
Okay, so if we go back last year,
Hmm.
um, let's see, I'd say I'll give two different. Can I give two different perspectives of someone that's in college and someone outside of
Yeah,
college?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so a person in college would basically they would post on their Instagram story at least once a day. You don't have to post every single day. A lot of people post a lot,
Hmm.
but the way Instagram's algorithm is set up, it's
Hmm.
not necessarily the best to post every single day. It's more about just trying to grow your audience through ads, especially starting out and trying to create like a community with other brands and stuff.
Okay.
So I would say like starting out, like especially in college, at least posting a story once a day, make a post about like your drop at least two times a week.
Okay.
A typical day for me would be like I would wake up for class, I would check my Shopify, see if I have any orders,
Hmm.
and then I would ship those orders out that morning, or I would ship them out right before the post office closes. And I would like juggle this like with class and if I had tests or anything, like I would juggle it throughout that. The only thing that was a little bit hard for me was because I sew the labels on for my clothing like myself,
Hmm.
so that does take up a little bit of time. But besides that, it's not a high maintenance, like building a brand doesn't necessarily consume a lot of time like every single day,
Okay.
but like over time, like that time adds up, right? For
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
me to even get to the point that like I could sell out like within a day is something that took like over a year, you know?
Right.
So I mean it's different for different brands and stuff, but like yeah, it doesn't necessarily take that much time like per day, I would say. It
Hmm.
takes a lot of time like over time. Like you have to be
Right.
consistent. You have to do it every single day. Like reach out to influencers every single day.
Mhm.
To like take pictures with your brand or collab with you and stuff. So
Okay. So yeah,
and then
it's like a job.
yeah, it's basically a job. And then I guess the other perspective would be someone outside of school. And
Hmm.
it's like if you're outside of school, like it's in summertime, maybe you have a part-time job or something. I would say just focus on it as much as you can.
Okay.
Wake up, think about designs. Like I think about designs like all day, every day. I try to think of like what's the next thing to release? What should I focus on?
Hmm.
Like and immerse yourself into it. For me, I didn't get into streetwear until like 3 years ago, or almost like 2 years ago. I didn't even know what streetwear was.
Right.
So I did it. So I had to like force myself into the space. Like I just started watching so many videos, documentaries.
Right.
I started buying clothes from different streetwear brands.
Okay.
I just started learning as much as I could about the space, and then it's crazy because now I'm making that transition into like high end fashion and stuff,
Hmm.
and I'm watching a lot of high end fashion documentaries from different designers and stuff, and like trying to keep up to date with like who's the hottest designer right now.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
like people, that are younger that are just doing well in this space, and I'm just trying to learn about that because I want to make that transition eventually.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that means so you do look at like at least what your peers are also doing, like people that are also on kind of like the same level with you at this point, kind
Uh,
of
oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
thing. All
No,
right.
I have.
You have
I
to.
know. Yeah, bro. A lot of brands probably won't admit to this, but like for me, I have a spam account and I follow like all the brands in the space
Hmm.
that are like similar to mine,
Okay.
and I don't follow them to like stalk them or anything, but like sometimes I genuinely like the products that they're selling and I just buy it and they have no idea that, I'm just a normal customer or I have another brand
Hmm.
that's like in the same space. I like to buy it and be like a outside customer because I can see what the experience is as just like a normal customer for them, you know?
Right.
Because I feel
Right.
like when I buy stuff from another brand in the space that either I follow or like they know or heard of me or something like that,
Hmm.
then like they'll pay a little more attention to my order, might add like a bunch of stickers in it and stuff,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
like they'll make sure it's perfect. And I don't really care for that. So I just you know I'm a customer too. I'm a fan of
Hmm.
streetwear, and it's like I don't look at it just to stalk them and see like what they're up to. I look at it from a customer side as well as a competitor. Like I'm curious into what people are releasing. Like I see a lot of people are releasing toys now, which is so dope. But
Oh, like the
yeah, it's cool.
pops?
I mean, I guess they're like little toys that are people are releasing like with their designs and stuff, and
Oh.
they're like the toys that are or they sell plushies, like one of the two, and then it's cool just to see people branch out
Hmm.
into other stuff instead of just clothing. So I think that's pretty dope and inspiring. So yeah, I like to see what other people are doing, just in
Nah.
case. 'Cause I'm not trying to get left behind, you know.
Right,
So
right, right, right. Nah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Like, and I mean, that's also a good strategy. And I think it's also nice that you're not like being like, nah, I want them to give me like first class service. Like, you just kind of want to get a real experience out of it.
yeah, exactly.
Right. So, with that, like you've talked about how, like the process you went through, but specifically, at what point did you start to see, I guess, traction or like start seeing, oh, people like a return on investment, people are buying it.
Wow, that was a really good question. Uh, wish I would have known it before it hit time. It's like, nah. But I guess It's kind of weird because it's like I feel like I do have a lot of followers that just they're young, they're like 13 or 14. They just follow because like they like the clothes, they like the little fits that I put on, you know.
Yeah.
But I would say that I guess like that breaking point for me, like where I saw that like okay, people are starting buying from
Mm-hmm.
me is when I'd say about 5,000 followers,
Okay.
around like 5,000. I'd say that I know like every time I release a new drop, like it's gonna at least sell like 70%, like that
Okay.
same day. That's when I noticed that like okay, if I just keep up at this, I can increase like the amount of inventory that I'm selling per drop,
Mm-hmm.
and I can at least expect most of my customers to buy it.
Right.
And I guess in recently that happened again. Like I feel like I took another like small leap
Mm-hmm.
when um I posted my video on TikTok and it kind of went viral on there.
Okay.
Underrated artist child.
And then I grew by like a couple thousand followers in a month. And that was really sick.
Wow. Right.
Yeah. But it's interesting because a lot of those followers, like they only like a specific thing from my brand. They don't
Oh,
like all
okay.
my other designs. Yeah, so it's like I have to now like a lot of people they like the my language of flowers collection
Mm-hmm.
and they like the flower designs basically. So I'm always gonna make sure that I release one or two of those every time I release anything, just so
Right.
that those people can buy that.
Right.
Like
Could
the
please
latest
that
drop.
audience.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it's like I can't. I released like it was like it was inspired by Norse mythology. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a Valhalla Valkyrie collection that I released,
Okay.
and it did okay. It didn't do the best, but
Mm-hmm.
that's because I created a lot of designs that were, I guess, like out of the realm of my normal stuff,
Okay.
and I noticed that a lot of people like like they like the Japanese, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they like the
Mm-hmm.
Japanese text and all that stuff, but um as my brand grew, like here and there, like some of the followers they sprinkle and they message me and they said like bring this stuff back.
You bring it
They
back.
like this. Yeah, so there's people that like it, like other things, but like you just have to find them. And as you grow your brand, there's gonna be certain people that like other things that not everyone else likes. So
Right. Right. So
I
it's
think
like
that's pretty cool.
right because you have they are like invested in your actual aesthetic. So even when you're experimenting, yeah, some people might not like it per se.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. Okay. No. That makes like that makes sense. And so like no, and I like the fact that you gave a statistic because more times than not, like you ask people about these kind of questions and they don't go deep enough to like let you really know what's reasonable. Like they'll just say just keep growing or um oh at any point or like you could make a sale at any point, but it's like it's a realistic perspective when you put an actual uh quantity over there, like oh around 5K, you could expect to see like at least something, at least people being invested enough to buy. And so I'm glad you made that point as well.
Can I
And
say one more thing?
yeah.
Okay, so like thank you for saying that. I'll just say like another point too, just to like bounce off of that. So
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like 5,000 is when like you really start doing sales, but
Okay.
like that the holy grail
Mm-hmm.
of all clothing brands, I swear, is 10,000. Like that's the holy grail. Once you hit 10,000, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Like
Okay.
it's a night and day difference. But like even from 1,000 to 5,000 is a night and day difference. But once you hit that 10,000 mark,
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you release this stuff, it's gonna sell for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about like being consistent
Right.
and continually like putting out stuff. Like I'm always trying to think ahead,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm happy because now that I graduated, I'm more in a creative mindset,
Right.
and I could like think ahead. Like I'm pretty far ahead with my drops now in design, so that's pretty fun.
Okay, no, that's awesome, bro. Like, I mean, and I'm glad you said that. Audience, I hope you heard that. 10K is I am here. So,
Yeah,
big
yeah, I'm here, bro.
bet.
I'm here. That's it. At 10K, you should should be pretty good.
Okay. And so um I believe this is definitely like a journey, and like how you're saying it takes time, it takes consistency. Like, did you have any personal like weaknesses that you felt you had to overcome in order to push your brand? Like, how much of your real life, like pretty much, if you looked at like your personal growth, um, is that in tandem with like the growth of your brand?
Most definitely, most
Okay.
definitely. I feel like the best example I could give you is
Mm-hmm.
like the one about the one about like having self perspective and really only focusing on yourself and not the other people around
Mm-hmm.
you. When I was growing my brand, and like even now here and there, like you do feel discouraged because like you compare yourself to other brands, you see like other brands are doing so well. Okay, this brand's starting to blow up and they're taking off, and it's like, especially when you're in a space that your brand necessarily can't grow, or you're just in a bad spot and then you see another brand doing well, it
Mm-hmm.
gets really toxic and it puts yourself in a toxic mindset. For me, um, at school, like when the whole COVID thing happened,
Mm-hmm.
um, I wasn't allowed to go get my inventory from my school,
Okay.
and it was stuck there for 3 months. And so those 3 months I couldn't sell anything,
Mm-hmm.
and it was frustrating because I couldn't do anything about it. Like I
Right.
had like thousands
Right.
of like revenue just sitting in my room, and it's like people are messaging me telling me to like release stuff, or when am I going to restock? And I know
Mm-hmm.
everyone's on their phones now, and a lot of people are buying stuff online now. It's just it sucked
Mm-hmm.
because I would watch other brands in my field like just take off during this time, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And it makes you really it makes it really like, I'm not gonna lie, it makes it a little sad because you just keep comparing yourself and then you get in that mindset. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, when it comes to personal growth, that also reflects about like my life, like comparing myself to other people in life that
Mm-hmm.
are, I wouldn't say doing better than me, but like they're just in a position I would like to be in, you know?
Right. Right.
And I feel like, they correlate with each other. So as I stopped comparing myself to other brands and stuff, I stopped comparing myself as a person to like other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
No, okay, no, that's a great point because that is the real thing. Like, as humans, like we definitely look at other the same way we look at other people for support, in the same way we show admiration for other people. Admiration, envy is it just depends on like what space you're in.
Hmm.
So no, that's an awesome point. And though, so are there some things that you feel people are misinformed about when it comes to creating and selling um like your product, especially from like a sole owner entrepreneur like perspective?
Uh, yeah, there are a few things maybe.
Okay.
Okay, so from what I've seen and I personally felt, the first thing was like just about being an entrepreneur in general.
Hmm.
I realized that like there are times like even at school, like I would say I'm an introvert anyway by nature. So like I can thrive by myself. I don't need to be around people.
Uh-huh.
But there were times that like I would be up to like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., like sewing clothes, packaging up clothes and stuff. And then like I would see all my other friends out, like either going, doing something, or enjoying themselves. And I'm not gonna lie, like being an entrepreneur is kind of lonely,
Hmm.
especially at the beginning. It's very lonely because a lot of people aren't going to support you until you start popping. A
Right.
lot of people aren't going to, you know, go out of their way to help you or just support you in general. And it does get lonely because you would think, or you would have that like mindset that because people are your friends and they would necessarily buy from your brand or support
Hmm.
whatever you're selling. And that isn't always the case because a lot of people, they want to take that leap and they want to try to do what you're doing and they just can't do it,
Right.
or they're too scared to do it.
Hmm.
And that's fine, but because they're so scared, they take it out on you and they don't give you that support. And I don't know, like at the beginning, it was really lonely, not gonna lie.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
wish someone would have told me from the beginning that, yeah, entrepreneurship isn't, it's not always gonna be funny games, which I understand,
Right.
but there is a depressing side to entrepreneurship, to taking that leap
Mm-hmm.
and going into the unknown. You
Right.
know,
And you're getting like all this critique from people that probably are not even ready to ever do that. So
for sure, from friends, and then
from friends.
even like even like starting your own brand. Like when I started my brand, I would get hate emails from people telling me that the
Really?
stuff I'm doing is stupid and
Really?
my designs are dumb. Yeah.
Like someone went out their way.
Yeah, yeah, they went out of their way to hit the little email button on Instagram and send me a hate email.
That's crazy.
It hurts, bro. It hurts,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you put so much time into it. You know, like you
Right.
put hours and hours and hours into something. You put it out, and then like you could get like 90% of it could be positive feedback. 99% of it could be positive feedback. But
But
when you
that
get that
one.
1%, it hurts. It hurts for sure. Especially when you're starting out and you're just getting going. You don't have like the confidence and all that yet. Like
Mm-hmm.
it hurt.
It hurt. But you had to just push through. Keep moving.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. You had to push it.
And then mark them like I'm gonna show you now.
Low key, yeah.
Early in our conversations, for instance, like you mentioned, um, the stuff you make, the product being anime inspired and stuff. So from that, I would take it that like you've been in like an anime fan to some degree.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've watched a couple hundred.
Nah, I feel you.
couple,
Same.
you feel me? I watched a couple hundred. I like anime. I think it's pretty cool. When I was in high school, it really wasn't cool at all. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't get bullied specifically for watching anime. I
Uh-huh.
did get bullied like when I was younger. Like I remember I would go to middle school. Like I got good grades and stuff. Like I stayed out of the way. I was a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, like especially like the neighborhood that I'm from, it's not really known for like success or anything like that. I'm kind of in the hood, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But like I would go to school and like I would just be minding my business, and then someone would just come up to me and like choke me and drag me across the classroom, and like
Word.
the teacher wouldn't even believe that it happened when I would tell them. And like,
It sounds crazy.
but it sounds
Sounds
crazy,
crazy.
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
like this was like a daily occurrence. Like especially when I was in middle school, like I would just get bullied and picked on just for being like I don't know, just for doing what's right, like just going to school, getting good grades, and
Mm-hmm.
like just being nice to people. Like I used to get bullied with that. But in terms of anime, um, I noticed the misconceptions about anime as I got older and as I like started to, I guess when I started to like date basically
Mm-hmm.
and like get to know women and stuff. For me, like if I mentioned anime, it was always like this this funny look that like I'm kind of weird or something because I watch it,
Uh-huh.
and then these from the same woman that be watching like Keeping Up with the Kim Kardashians and stuff
I'm
like that.
dead.
You know, it's crazy, bro.
Oh
But
man. And so like even with that, like even with those, do you think like that has like changed in any way? Because if you think about it now, like you kind of moved in that direction of like having anime inspired stuff. You started a whole brand that's kind of based off of um people at the time not even thinking it was like cool
yeah,
to some
yeah,
degree.
for sure. So in terms of, well, I have two things to say about this. The first thing is like about like the aesthetic of my brand.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I do have some designs that like you could look at it, you could be like, okay, that's from Naruto. For example, I have it's called Hanjo. It's a Hanjo tee. It's inspired by Bluebird, which is a
Mm-hmm.
Naruto OP,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also inspired by a painter as well. And you know, I try to put like more meaning behind my designs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like the anime reference, it's usually like the anime art style. Like it's the same
Right.
anime art style. Like it might not even have anything to do with anime, but the way in which it's drawn is like the the anime manga
Mm-hmm.
type of way, you know?
Right. No, yeah, because no, when I look at like the stuff, like your products and stuff, like yeah, like I can tell it has an some inspiration from anime because I've watched anime. But I feel like if I
Mhm.
was outside of that realm, then I have nothing to really base it off of. It just looks cool.
Yeah,
So it's very like subtle in a way.
Yeah. So like that was the purpose behind the brand and the designs was to create designs that even if you don't really anime. Oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
No, it's
Am I
okay.
allowed to cuss on this?
No, I'll beef it, bro. I'll beef it. You
Okay.
get.
Okay. So even if you don't mess with anime, it's like you'll see the design, you'll be like, okay, that's kind of cool. And if it is
Mm-hmm.
one of those designs that are inspired by anime, maybe it'll change your perspective. Maybe you'll give it a try. I don't really know, but
Right.
yeah.
And so, like, for instance, like when you grew up like watching anime and stuff like that, like, what were you taking out of it? Like, what made it more enjoyable than watching other things? I saw that like anime had a deeper plot, for instance. That's one thing I started getting to understand. Um, but like, what would you say? Like, what are the things that you kind of noticed?
I would have to agree with you. Specifically, it was really the plot. I feel like that what separates um, anime from cartoons a lot is
Hmm.
like how deep the plot can be and the different characters and their different personalities and like it feels like something more like when you watch it because it's like it's so in depth
Hmm.
and there's so many different genres and stuff and you know over here it's like in the US there are some people that think it's weird and stuff
Hmm.
but I just want to go back to your last question. I forgot to answer it. But what you said about like people's view on anime, I feel like it has been changing.
Hmm.
Um, because our people are now starting to notice that like anime is more than a cartoon, as you said. Like it
Hmm.
has a deep plot to it. There's a bunch of different personalities. It's not something that's necessarily weird. It's just it is different. But
Right.
I feel like because a lot of famous people like Michael B. Jordan, Megan Thee Stallion, like they're coming out saying that they like anime,
Hmm.
and they're showing that they actually watch it. That's like showing a lot of people that okay, it's not bad, it's kind of cool.
Right.
And I also think because of TikTok, surprisingly,
Okay.
a lot of people on TikTok like anime, and it's becoming like a fad. I don't know what it is, but I think that's affecting it too.
Mhm. Mhm. No, cause no, I'm sure, cause bro, like I think I look at like my friend, even my friend groups, and just even people you meet on a daily, they know something. Like now, majority of the girls that like you'd ever speak to, at least from my experience, know Death Note, for instance. And it's
Hmm.
like even though it's anime, it's almost like something that was so good that people had to like just see it once kind of
Yeah.
thing. Even if they were not gonna watch anime ever again, they've at least seen Death Note.
Hmm.
So,
Definitely.
what is your favorite like anime, and like why?
Uh, Dang.
It's hard.
I'd say the first place is a tie for me.
Okay.
Um, it would be a tie with Naruto and then
Mm-hmm.
Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter, whichever way people want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
but but yeah, so I like Naruto a lot because that was kind of what got me into anime and
Okay.
got me invested into the culture and stuff that's behind it. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, I feel like if it wasn't for Naruto, I wouldn't even have my streetwear brand
Mm-hmm.
because for me, when I was in high school,
Right.
I used to create animations. Uh, they were sprite
Oh.
animations.
Okay.
Like I would use sprites, so like the character models from different video games and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I would use Naruto sprites to create animations and stuff, and I would make them fight against each other, and I
Oh.
got really good at it, like super good at it, and because of that, I learned how to do graphic design. I learned how
Okay.
to do animation and stuff. And without those tools to be able to do that, I wouldn't have started my brand at all, for sure.
Wow. That's crazy. So it all wraps around always.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's also crazy because like I remember there was a time when I put in a lot of work at
Mm-hmm.
my local urban league
Okay.
and like a ton of work. Like I used to put in a bunch of hours every single week. And we had this event at the end of the summer. And in this event, uh, we would get tickets and stuff for like the work we've done over the past couple months and stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
we be put in a raffle to like win money, prizes and stuff. And I remember that there was a grand prize of like a couple $100,
Okay.
and the lady she was giving out tickets and stuff, and it was so random. She gave out a ticket to someone would do the Dougie, because the Dougie was popping at
Was
that
popping
time.
then. It was popping. I remember.
I swear it was popping.
Bro,
So I was like, bro, I did it, bro. I had to do
you
it.
just gave it a quick 100.
I had to do it. So what happened was I did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like doing it for everyone, and then get in front of the whole class.
Mm-hmm.
So like I stood there in front of the whole class of like people that like do service for the Urban League, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I did it, all these phones and lights came out, bro. Soon as I stood up there, it was over. Bro. As soon as I stood up there, I seen like, bro, I swear at least 10 flashes lit up. Like, I'm just standing, and then I'm like, bro, I gotta do it. Like, I'm already here. I'm gonna just do it. So I do it, and like, bro, in my mind, I swear I was eating it. Bro.
You were killing it.
I swear I was in my mind. Like when I sat down, I was like, yeah, I did that. Like I really thought I did.
You saw the video?
I know, bro. I went home. And then I went on Facebook because I just made a Facebook account like a couple weeks to that. And I saw that it got like a couple hundred views, bro. They posted it on Facebook.
Wow. They had you out there.
Well, the comments that were on it were all negative. Like they were all laughing at me, making fun of me. They're just making fun of everything that I did. Like people would make fun of the animations that I did. That has nothing to do with me doing the Dougie. It would be like him and his animations. You know?
Damn.
Yeah. So it was really depressing. I'm not gonna lie. I was really sad about that because I was in middle school when that happened. Or I think it was first year of high school. I'm not completely for sure, but I was sad because it was like all the comments were just me being picked on and bullied, you know?
Right.
And I wasn't used to social media at that time. Like I just got into that stuff. I didn't really know too much about it.
Yeah. They'll kill you on there. Middle school, they'll kill you. Yeah,
facts. Facts. I was so upset because like they made it past just me dancing. Like they talked about my life, you know, and how I carried myself.
Right.
And it's like that just upset me.
Well, at least what I'm getting out of it is that you were sticking to who you were still. I could see people kind of move away or run away from that. Like especially in trying to fit in. Especially in like middle school. Like you don't want to stick out like the sore thumb. You kind of want to mesh and just kind of always belong. Like you telling me how you could be getting bullied and create with that. And it still led you now to even creating like an entire brand that you're pushing that is doing really well. I think it's amazing to me because it's like, it's definitely a stamp to the fact that, if you really put that investment in it, it always sounds cliche, but you can get there.
Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no problem. You could live in the world of anime, and just now even mentioning, I kind of feel like I know what you'd say, but like, which one would you want to live in?
I'm trying to live in Attack on Titan. I'm
trying to live there. There? Yo. Okay. I was about to say that to me is like the worst one. About to get people die at any second.
Hell, you know, it's Naruto. It gotta be Naruto.
Definitely, right? Which character though? I
mean, if I could be a character, you know, obviously I want to be Naruto, but like I'd probably be like a side character that got killed when like Pain came down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like, you mean like if you did exist in there?
I'm dying, bro. Either Pain killing me or Madara's killing me, bro.
But you want someone to kill you, right? See, that's you don't want to die in no scrub. You want someone powerful. Yeah. You gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta have clout or something. Like you can't I just ain't gonna get knocked off by a random like.
Oh man.
I ain't gonna be that nice though. I know I wouldn't be that nice. I wouldn't be, bro.
I mean, you might have your own like entrepreneurship thing going on in there too. Like,
no, I'm dying, bro.
Nah, you dead?
I'm dying, bro. I'm not surviving.
Oh man, thank you so much for joining the Art Sounds Familiar platform and for being a voice, man.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
All right, King. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.